Imagine this for a moment. Your sales coach for a special activity versus having his typical conference call or session at his office. He picks you up at your office. We end up going to Barnes & Noble, and the sales student looks back over at the sales coach and says, "Aren't we going to get thrown out of here? Aren't we going to get thrown out of here?" Isn't that interesting? And let me tell you the story. One day, and really the story has a lot to do about sales but also belief. But one day I had a sales coaching session, and I'm going to change the name here just to protect the innocent. We're just going to call him Sales Sam. So we had our typical Sales Sam session on a Thursday, and I called him up that morning and I said, "Hey, Sales Sam, instead of having the session at the office, I'm going to come by and pick you up at your office, and we're going to do a special thing because it's your birthday." And he goes, "Okay, well, great." So anyway, I arrive at his office at the prearranged time, and he comes out, and we start driving down the road in my car, and we get down about a block, and I looked over at him. I said, "Well, how many business cards do you have?" And he said, "Well, I don't have any." I said, "Well, don't you carry any with you?" He said, "No." Major sales violation. You always got to have your cards with you, right? So we turned right back around, went to his office. He picks them up, maybe about 30 or so, and off we go. So we're going down the road, and I said, "Listen, it's your birthday today, and we're going to have a little bit of fun in our 1-hour session, and I'm going to take you to Barnes & Noble's, and what we're going to do is we're going to actually work the audience today in Barnes & Noble, and I'm going to buy you a couple sales books." So he was kind of excited about that, and so we get into Barnes & Noble's, and we go get a Starbucks, and we're saying hi to people, and I got to say this, that I'm a little extroverted, and have many years of sales speaking experience, and my client may be a little introverted and a little bit nervous of maybe being assertive in front of clients, like not clients, but just other people like that at Barnes & Noble's. So anyway, we got our coffees, and we're kind of walking through the store, and we're kind of over looking at some different books and stuff. And I said, "Well, let's go over to your industry." And his industry was the financial planning industry. So we go over there, and we see all these books about the stock market and insurance and all that. And I said, "Well, let me share with you a technique that is not very well known, but it's a great one, and people, salespeople will benefit from it. And what I'd like for you to do, Sales Sam, is to take your business card and drop it in every one of these financial books here at Barnes & Noble's, because you never know when somebody's going to walk in and open up the book, and there's your card." And he looked at me. He was like terrified. He said, "Aren't we going to get thrown out of here?" And I said, "Let me put it to you this way. If we get thrown out, you know what? There's another Barnes & Noble's down the street. We'll just go to the next one." And he was just extremely nervous. I said, "Come on, let's do it." So he finally starts putting his cards in all these different books. So he had about, again, 30 cards in about 30 books. So I kind of held his hand. We walked over, and we went into the sales section. I bought him a couple books, and I put some of my cards in there. And that was kind of the end. That was it for the session for the day. And didn't think anything else, and took him back to his office. Now, while this is all going on, I need you to know this, is that this salesperson also had just prepared that was on a Thursday. So the next Monday, he had spent, it was like $4,000 to $5,000 on doing a seminar with food to introduce people to a financial services product. And he had hired a telemarketing company. They sent out, a zillion kind of letters to people, followed it up with telemarketing. And he had approximately, 20 or 25 people that RSVP'd that they said that they would be there. Now, my student, Sales Sam, he also asked me, he said, "Chuck, in an effort of support, would you please be there, the presentation on Monday night? It's at the Country Club." And I said, "Certainly, I'll be more than happy. I'll get there early, make sure to help you get the room set up and all this." So anyway, we're all ready for the seminar on Monday. So Monday comes, and at 5:30 I get there to the Country Club, and his sales manager is there at the door waiting for me. And he goes, "Hey, did you hear what happened to Sales Sam?" And I said, "No, what?" He goes, "You're not going to believe this." He said, you made him go to Barnes & Noble the other day and put his cards in the books?" And I said, "Yeah." He says, "Well, he got a call from a guy. And the guy basically said I was in Barnes & Noble's, and I have, and again, I don't know if this is the exact amount, but I think it was like I have $50,000 to $60,000 to invest, and I'm looking, I don't know what to do, so I went to Barnes & Noble, and I looked at this financial planning book and opened it up, and Sales Sam's business card fell out. And quote unquote, the client said to Sales Sam that I thought it was an act of God that your card fell out of the book. Well, anyway, so Sales Sam, being the unbelieving soul that he was, first of all, he thought that this was not a for sure thing. In fact, he also thought that I might have even set this guy up to fake him out. Then Sales Sam thought, well, you know what, I think I'm going to be real smart here and see what happens. So he goes, I'm going to invite him to the Monday night seminar. So that's what he did. He told the client that got his card out of the book at Barnes & Noble, he said, I'm doing this seminar here in Dallas Monday night, 6 o'clock, you show up. So then he went and told the sales manager, and he told the sales manager, I really doubt this guy, and all, so on and so forth. So anyway, here comes the time for the seminar. Now, a couple things. Please remember this. My Sales Sam student spent, again, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 on putting this whole thing together, including telemarketing and mail list. Okay? Guess how many people showed up at the seminar? Not including support and not including other financial planners and the boss, but it was only 3 to 4 people. So he spent, let's just say he spent $750 per person to get him there as a minimum. Okay? Guess who else showed up? The guy who went into Barnes & Noble's and picked his card out of that financial book. So you just never know how things go. But here's the end of the story. The other people that were at the seminar, the 3 or 4 that showed up, the other 20 who RSVP did not show up, is very typical. Okay? I don't know if those other 3 or 4 did any business with Sales Sam. But the guy who picked off the card at the Barnes & Noble's book in the financial section ended up spending that $40,000 or $50,000 with Sales Sam in an investment product that he was able to offer him. So a couple things that we learned from this story about, are we going to get thrown out of the store, is one, always have your business cards with you. You never know when that opportunity moment is going to show up that, a door opens for you and all you got to do is walk through. The second thing is have sales belief, for crying out loud. Don't think that somebody's setting you up or your sales coach was trying to do something, but know that those opportunities exist if you create the opportunities. And it all starts with having that business card with you and, putting them in kind of some unsuspecting places and having a little bit of fun with your business. You just never know what might come from that stuff. So anyway, great lesson today. If you ever get thrown out of a bookstore, just go down the road. There's another one down there. Don't worry about it. But have some fun. Impact your clients with great belief and a lot of enthusiasm about how wonderful you are, your company is, and your product. And don't ever forget, make sure to do a lot of little things to make those doors open, wide open for some great opportunities. So with that, don't be like Sales Sam, but be like other people. Make those opportunities happen. And with that, again, thanks for your time today. ChuckBauer.com. Make sure to check out the new products for sales tools, cbsalestools.com. So with that, Godspeed, God bless, and we'll see you down the road. Take care. Bye-bye.